Hello, this is Cyan,
And I'm Magenta.
and we are Cyan Magenta Media. Today, we wanted to go over something that's kind of been I've seen it covered a little bit, but I think it should be a much bigger story. So one of my biggest complaints, and I think one of your biggest complaints throughout this whole Trump saga so far, is that the Democrats have been weak as hell. Hakeem Jeffries, the minority speaker, is toothless and is not capable, in my opinion, of fighting this. And that's just a general kind of issue across establishment Democrats. I don't think they have what it takes. I've heard people say it, and I kind of agree with it. We need like a wartime stance here. We need wartime leaders.
Yeah.
The typical Democrat, let's reach across the aisle and try to
Yeah.
compromise where we can. That
We
stuff,
we go high when they go low.
yeah, that stuff doesn't really play here anymore. So, but
No.
this kind of tone that Jim Larson from Connecticut is striking in this video. I wanted to talk about, and I think it's absolutely perfect. Other than him and Bernie, they're the only 2 I've really seen go this hard, and I wanna see everyone doing it.
Sad morning. Very sad morning. When this committee, the oldest and most continuous in the Congress, neglects its responsibility and essentially holds this hearing today to block any further discussion. The men and women on this committee are good people. They're honest and caring people. And that's why I do not understand why you would relegate this committee to no longer being of significance and resort to saying you will do whatever Elon Musk and Donald Trump tell you to do. Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government. And you start off with a blather, and yet when we look at the empty seats here, where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he found are so evident, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. Because he's out to privatize Social Security. He's been on television the last couple of days talking exactly about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and what he intends to do. Privatize it. The American people, some of them may have been born at night, but not last night.
Wow. I have never heard of this man before, but I love him. Somebody give him a medal.
Yeah, isn't that great? That's what how people need to be. I don't think the Democrats truly understand how big of a deal this is. And I love that he brought up the privatizing, because remember how we had the discussion a couple episodes ago? I forget what we were covering, but it might have been the Zelensky thing, how the whole point of this is a wealth transfer from the average person to all these wealthy people's friends. The thing is, this is like an extreme wealth transfer because we're talking such a small group of people that this is going to. We're at a point in the country where the Republicans don't even care about the millionaires. We're talking like 0.0001% that they're trying to get the money to.
Yeah, there's 800 billionaires or something like that in the United States.
Yeah.
800.
Yeah.
And they're the ones pulling all the strings.
But this is even a small group of them. We're
Yeah.
talking like the top 20 richest people in the country. Yeah, so we're talking about even the uber wealthy because we're talking about the people that have the ability to have companies that would basically buy off sections of our government. Like Elon Musk has his own private NASA. That's the kind of
Yeah.
wealth we're talking about here.
It's not a very good NASA since everything keeps blowing up,
But
but that's fine.
that gives me a time to try my new soundboard. I actually wanted to try this. I wanted to incorporate more sounds in, spice it up a little bit. Let's see if it works.
Elon Musk launching rockets all the time that blow up.
But one thing I wanted to bring in on this, because I think it's kind of important to the overall point of what they're trying to do. One of my biggest pet peeves is when it's a lot of the time it's former Republicans or I'm an old school Republican but I
Yeah.
don't support Trump. This is why whenever you hear that, you have to know it's bullshit. Because everything Trump is doing has been the Republican playbook my entire life.
Yeah.
This has, the Christian nationalism is not new. That's been happening since the Reagan era. You know what I mean? They started lobbying Reagan, but the privatizing is the big thing. Trying to what the Republicans do is they try to tell you the system doesn't work. So what do? When they get elected, they cut funding, they cut entitlement programs, so people are disillusioned with the government, and then they sit back and say, "Look, it doesn't work," but they intentionally broke it.
They
And
sabotaged.
the reason they do that is because they want to privatize it, because their grubby little hands aren't in the pot here taking money out of this. The government's not a for-profit business. Every time I hear someone say, "I want the government run like a business," you don't, because it's not a money-making scheme. When you bring in money making into the government, then you start to have, the capitalism kind of infect it in the way of, "Oh, we can't do this program because it doesn't make money," or "We have to cut this because it's inefficient." The government is not efficient. Now, there's ways to make the programs more efficient, make sure people get their money faster, that sort of thing. But when it becomes privatized, I guarantee you, what private company that can't turn a profit off of something is gonna keep that program? It's gonna go away.
I mean, we can even just talk about the amount of companies that have, you know, very readily available followed the DEI policy that DEI doesn't exist anymore. Get rid of it. And these companies who are like, well, we were only doing this because we're legally required to, and it actually costs us a tiny bit of money to do it. So, we're just going to get rid of all of that. And everyone is on their own now, just like they're trying to cut OSHA. But that's what saves lives, as
Mhm.
both of us have worked in manufacturing, both of us have worked in factory settings, both of us saw where OSHA saves lives. I just saw a thing about how they're trying to get rid of 504s and like, did you see that?
No.
Oh, they're trying to get rid of 504s completely. 17 states are actively trying to get rid of 504s because it costs money to accommodate children. Like, because a 504 isn't just for children with disabilities in schools, it covers basically anybody who is disabled has to be accommodated in a federal building, and public schools are federal buildings. So 17 states are now trying to sue to have the 504 removed from the policy that it's under because that costs them money.
This is the perfect example. The government is not an efficient entity. The government is there to do the necessary things that need to be done outside of the benefit of making a profit. That's the point of the government. The government costs money. Yes, it always will. But the government offers services that other companies don't in a capitalist system because they don't make the money. They are for the better good and the overall betterment of our society. It's not that hard to understand. But the thing is, with the whole thing, like I said, about Trump trying to privatize things and Trump enacting Project 2025. This is a longer sort of play here by Trump. Trump is not a smart guy. He's conniving and deceiving, because what I want to make a point of, just to kind of put a button on this, is in when COVID started, okay? Trump said it'll be gone in a month, no one's going to die, whatever. Then he came out with the vaccine, and then all the anti-vaccine stuff started, right? And all his supporters believed him. And then the insurrection happened after the election. And he said that it wasn't an insurrection, it was a day of love and all this stuff. And all of his supporters believed him, right? The reason I'm saying this is it has been a line of these little lies stacking up on top of each other that have led to one big lie. And the reason he's doing this is because if he makes nothing, but if he basically makes everything out to be a lie, he can get away with whatever he wants. He literally fleeced 77 million people in this country who actively did not like Project 2025 and is now implementing this. All of this is line by line Project 2025. And all Project 2025 is, for the most part, is boilerplate Republican bullshit they've been trying to get done for 40 years. We have literally gotten to the point we've gotten to because a certain part of the population believed his little lies, stacking up to one big lie along the way. and then we are called crazy. It's like someone broke into your house. I'm sitting in your living room with you, right? We're watching TV. Someone broke into your house and is trying to steal everything out of your house. And I'm going, that guy's trying to steal everything out of this house right now. And the guy turns around and says, "No, I'm helping him move." And you look at me and goes, "No, he's helping me to move. I don't know what you're talking about." That is literally what's going on right now. You are getting fleeced and you are getting fucked because you believed his little lies along the way. And now you're telling me that I have robber derangement syndrome because I'm the one telling you you're actively getting robbed.
Yeah, I mean, they'll always say that leftists like us are the canaries in the coal mine. It's like, well, there was a reason that there were canaries in the coal mine. It's because they told you when you were all about to die.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I hate to be this way. What I've heard one of the hardest parts of being on the left is you're always like 10 to 20 years too early. But I just make it just it's so frustrating because we are telling you people that they are doing this. We have been saying this for years. My entire life, the Republican Party's entire strategy has been to privatize government entities. The only people that would lose out on that are the American people that need the help. And it will come back to bite you, and the system will fall apart, and you just cheered it on.
All of the boomers who voted for him, and now Social Security's up in the air. I mean,
It's not even the boomers, it was so many people, it's so depressing.
I know, but like specifically the boomers that
Yeah,
are getting Social Security and now they're upset that he's talking about privatizing Social Security when they spent the last 40 plus years paying into that system,
yep.
knowing that that system will be there to take care of them when they're older. I don't know what that feeling's like because I have never believed that Social Security will be around for me, because in middle school, I was in middle school during the 2008 economic collapse, and everyone was telling me Social Security isn't gonna be around by the time you're old enough to receive it, and that's always been in the back of my mind ever since I was 14 years old.
That's a myth, it will still be around. There's a great Sam Cedar is, like, the king of Social Security and talking about it. Maybe we can go over one of his videos sometimes of why
Sure.
Social Security will be around. The Social Security not being around scare is actually part of the strategy to numb people on Social Security going away.
To disillusion,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
it's not gonna be there anyway by the time you're that age, so who cares if we cut it? That's part of the strategy. It's a long time strategy.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, because this like I said, 2008, I was in 8th grade.
You have Gen Z people that are that truly believe right now, "I will never see Social Security."
But the thing is, if they do end up privatizing it, I'm curious to see how it will still be around for us.
I don't know if it will be. I mean, that's a whole different story. We're talking about in its current state.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Social Security, we can get into that another time, but
Yeah,
basically,
different
there's the
video.
Social Security Trust Fund, which is running out of money, and the only thing that needs to be done to fix that is raise the cap on Social Security. Because right now, Elon Musk in a year puts as much into Social Security as I do. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Please check out our links below. That's all of our other social medias. Don't forget to give us a follow there too.